Okay, guys. So here we go. On the left angle cross of the men's, starting with the 5-1 profile. Very demanding people. The left angle cross of the men's. Any cross that has the 21 gate, you got to deal with demands in any other way. If you would ask me what kind of condition I would accept to go to heaven, I would insist that there are no 21s there. Okay, I'm not going to go there. My idea of heaven is no 21s. My idea of hell is everybody got to 21. Anyway, so defense, the natural and practical instinct to protect oneself regardless of temptation, the fuel for self defense regardless of stimulation. This has the potential of turning this very, very vital energy into something that's very angry and able to give deep punishment. The 48 gate is the gate of black magic. It's the gate of darkness. It's the well. You look into the well and you see nothing. This is the well. It's a very, very dark place and you never know what's bubbling underneath. The 21 gate is a gate of deep control. And in this cross, it's hidden underneath the sun in the joyous. And this can be very deceptive. The detriment is the best defense is a good defense. And sometimes this is a preemptive offensive. You're not even waiting to defend yourself. You're just assuming that you're going to have to, so you might as well deal with them beforehand. The other thing is the left angle looks at the right angle experience through the 58 gate and says that this has really been a waste of time. It looks at the right angle crosses and says this business of sharing and all of this stuff, it's so complex and it takes so long for us. We're always stepping into our fidelity and I don't really listen to, and we got to correct them. And we got to go through that whole process. The 5 says, do what I say. Just do what I say and shut up. It's like, I thought you were the joy of life. Yeah, I would be if you did what I told you to do, and everything else would be fine. If you don't do, threats. Everything about the fifth line on the 58 is threats. If I have a fifth line personality, oh, do I understand this? If you don't follow your authority and your strategy, you go to hell in this life. What a threat. That's happy business, right? If you're a generator, if you never respond, you're never going to be find love. Well, heavy threat, and it works. It's a nice thing about it, and this is called defense. It's all lie. This is defending yourself against the stupidity of others that won't listen to reason. I'm telling you, if you want to enjoy life, it's simple. Do what I tell you to do, and then everything is going to be terrific. And you will leave me alone at the same time. Not only that, if you don't do what I tell you what to do, I don't have anybody to share with, which is my favorite. Then we go to the 5-2. The 5-2 walks around their flat yelling at the wall. They yell at the television. It's very, very difficult for them. It's very much an offensive line. They're heretics after all. And it's not your typical collective. The thing I respect about the collective is that you didn't doesn't tell you what to do until it's explained and go through things and you understand it. I correct your mistake and explain why it's a mistake. It's sharing, it's my annoying. But why do they go on an effort to still fill you in? And the fifth line is not interested in that work. It takes up so much energy. The defense here the other days were trying to protect their energy. If you got the energy for the love of life, the last thing on earth you want to do is waste it on a lot of dreary, dull, sad, messy people. For the fifth line, it's not possible. And with this 28, 48, 21, 48 underneath, you can either put the bus in you, and not only that, it's left angle. They know. But the 5-2, what to do with 5-2s? They are this kind of people now that can write blogs on the internet and insult people at will. So yeah, good for them. They can just be demanding on a different way and be far away. Then we go to the 6-2 on the left angle, right angle, left angle cross of demands. It said right angle here. There is a caution for the six line, getting carried away. It's one of these things about the six. I always have this image of these people where you have these very funny old movies of people who try to invent ways to fly. You always see them on these buildings where they've got fake wings and on and little bicycle or things, and they launch off and sink like a stone. The tendency of the six is the assumption that on the roof, that the roof is leading them to heaven. It's like their goal at the end of the roof stage is that suddenly an elevator appears and they have to go up and not down, going further aloof. I know how to get beyond objectivity. I'll get beyond everything up there in the sky overlooking things. Everything six line being wants to be God, and they have a great deal of difficulty admitting it. But they do tend to get carried away. This is about integrity. The instinct to draw back when its independent integrity is threatened. Now, what is the integrity here? The integrity is the resource of the fuel and the pressure center, the fuel for life, the fuel for vitality. Now, the whole thing about them is that they don't want to give anybody want to give anybody that. Basically, they don't want to give it to anybody. They go through the 3-3 stage. They see that getting carried away because they do want to do they do when they're young, getting carried away costs them too much, and they don't want to come off the roof. Now remember, for a six, not coming off the roof is death. They don't want to die. I hope you got that. For the six, when they reach the chiron, a lot of them have problems, particularly in the early years, right after the chiron, because they see that it's all going to deteriorate now. They have to go back into the world, they have to go back into the form principle, and the form principle is decaying. While they're on the roof, they have an illusion that they're above everything, and they do. And they get carried away with this I'm above everything, only to discover that the forces are going to drag them down to earth. It reminds me one of the strangest dreams I ever had, and I don't remember them. It was a dream that I had when I was young in my 20s. I had wings and I was flying. I was flying about some beach somewhere, and all of a sudden I realized that there was a drag on me, and I was working harder and harder to fly. Then I looked down, and there was a rope around my feet, and I was going down to the beach, and there were all these little ant-like, there were humans, but from that height were all these people pulling me back down to the earth. It was a very frightening dream to wake up from. I did not like that. And this is the 58-6 dream. They don't want to be pulled down to earth. Underneath the role model potential of any six is the fear what it means to take on the responsibility of being a role model. Most six would rather be hypocrites. It's safer to be a living example of anything is an enormous challenge. And the 58-6 knows what costs in energy, the vitality to live your uniqueness. The requirements are enormous. It's so easy for them to lose their identity. This is the whole thing about the 58-6. It's the first 28 of years of their life they can easily lose their identity and not have that vitality for their own unique process. Then we go to the sixth tree on the left angle cross of the man's. It's particularly true for the sixth tree again. I'm always having to do with the 3-6 or the sixth tree. It's a mountain to get over this first 28 years to deal with Saturn. Saturn's heavy. For the 3-6 and the sixth tree, this is an enormous task just to get out there. And so many of them giving that their hair here to be vital, that's their vitality that is stepped into when they're young. The basic energy that they need for their growth and maturation and all these other things are lost when they're young. I have this interesting feeling about this gate. It's a Capricorn gate, and it's a gate of the most essential vital fuel, the fire. And I always think of the 50 gate as a volcano because that's really what it is for me. It's a volcano. It's a volcano that comfortably releases its steam without creating any problems, or it's constantly spewing lava and killing people and destroying land and whatever. It's this very, very powerful force. It's a mechanism for the release of the deepest energy in a human being. There is no deeper force in a human. That's what's coming out of the 58 gate. So that's quite a power they give to you guys, hey, with the 58 gate. That's not something. Okay, we're going to move on to gate 38, the spiritual warrior, fighting for the purpose of life. Where is the purpose of life?